right, hello everyone. Welcome back to eHub Indonesia 2020 Goes Online. This is Institution Webinar Series. My name is Anton Hilman. I'm going to be moderating this webinar. This webinar is going to be presented by the representative of Montpellier Business School. Please stay tuned until the end of this webinar because after the presentation we will hold a Q&A session. If you have any question about the presentation or anything related to the institution, you can submit your question in YouTube comment section anytime throughout the presentation. Now, please welcome the representative of Montpellier School.
Hi everyone. I don't know if you're able to see me.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can see you.
Okay. Because I don't see myself as I'm with my phone. I'm trying this new thing with the phone as my laptop. I don't know what happened, but it's all good. So thank you so much, Anton, for welcoming me, and sorry for being late. That's the magic of webinars, but it's all good now. I'm really happy to introduce myself. I'm Judith. I'm the representative of Montpellier Business School, and I'm also an alumni of the school. I've been in the school now for more than 3 years and a half, and I'm in charge of the Asian continent. So I'll be your main contact. And Ton, would you mind sharing the presentation that I sent you?
Yes, Judith.
You'll see the presentation in a bit. You will have my WhatsApp number and my email, so feel free to email me whenever you have a question or WhatsApp me. So I will start with the presentation. I don't see the screen now, but I hope we can see the screen. With 10 reasons to join MBS and choose MBS. So the first reason is to differentiate yourself to study in France, because France is an attractive destination for you guys. It enables you to differentiate yourself. Also, you will see why choosing MBS, you choose a nice city to study in France. It's not just about Paris. You also have several cities in France that you can discover. Also, choosing France is to choose an internationally recognized academic excellence school, so one of the best schools in France and in Europe. You also choose to build a career that looks like you. You choose a school with an international and diverse environment. You choose a school that guides you and helps you from A to Z. And you choose also a school that enables you to do all the application process online. I'll be your main contact for any questions you have, so feel free to reach out whenever you have a question. So for now, I don't think you see the screen, but it's okay. I'll be keeping up with the presentation. So first reason to choose MBS is to choose a school that is located in France. Why France? Maybe you've never thought of it, why France could be a good idea. Well, I will tell you why it's a good idea. First, France, you'll be differentiating yourself by studying in France. Most of the students from your country usually would choose maybe the US, Australia, China, Malaysia, I mean, other countries around you, but also some countries, English-speaking countries, which is a good idea, of course. But France, why is it a good idea? You have a quality higher education. Also, France is in the top world-class economic powers. Also, France has a very pleasant, fulfilling environment. The French language, do you speak French? It's a nice language to learn as well. And you benefit from an international environment as well. Also, choosing France is to choose a country that offers very many advantages to international and French students. So you have the possibility to stay up to 1 year after you graduate to look for a job. So first of all, you'll be coming with a student visa. Then you'll be coming, you'll be able to stay up to 1 year to look for a job. And then once you find a job, you'll be authorized to stay in France. Also, we have up to 2,000 euros scholarship granted on tuition fees, depending on admissions results and availability. Also, France, maybe you didn't know, but we have one of the best healthcare system in the world. You've heard of some other countries that are trying to work on a great healthcare system. We have one. It means that if you get sick, and we hope you won't get sick, but still you can benefit from a free consultation to the doctor, and well, we have very many advantages on that. Also, in France, when you are a student, you benefit from financial allowance on your housing, meaning that you get money deducted from your rent each month for being a student, between 80 and 150 euros. So many advantages for students. Thank you, Anton. When you choose a country that offers advantages. We are on the slide 4, I think. Slide 5. Why choosing France? Choose France and choose Montpellier, which is the name of the city and also the name of the school, Montpellier Business School, MBS, is to choose to study in one of the best student cities in France. So choosing Montpellier, of course, you may not have, you've never heard maybe of Montpellier, or maybe you've never been to France, of course, so you don't know all the cities of the country, but we recommend you to go to smaller cities than Paris. Why? Paris is a nice city, of course. You can see the movies; it's really nice, etc. But it's quite costly. It's one of the most expensive capitals in the world. So when you have to count in your budget, you'll see that Montpellier is up to 40% cheaper than Paris, actually. Also, to choose a city like Montpellier or student cities of the world, you'll be choosing a city that is human size, not too big, not too small. You have many things to do. You'll see that Montpellier is one of the best cities in France, actually, according to the ranking that we have. Also, Montpellier is the seventh largest city in France. It's located 3 hours from Barcelona and 3 hours from Paris. So it's located in the south of France. Yes, it's this slide, just below. Oops. The next slide, please. Thanks. So also choosing MBS, you'll be choosing to study in one of the best business schools in France. So in France, you may have heard about business schools, but also we have the public and the private system, like in many countries. The public system is really good. Most of the courses are at universities and mainly in French. And then we have the private system with business schools, engineering school, design schools, etc., etc. The difference is that we are not financed by the state. So you see, of course, a difference in terms of tuition fees as well. So in France, we have approximately 200 business schools, and only 39 are what we call grande école, which is the word that you can see here. It's like the Ivy League in the US. It's part of the best business schools in France, top schools, prestigious, and it enables you to have the stay back option. Also, in a business school, what are you going to study? For those who've never studied business, you'll be studying quantitative topics and qualitative topics. Quantitative, such as accounting, finance, controlling management, how to cost effectively, to manage costs. And then you have qualitative topics like marketing, human resources, project management, international business. So here I put a picture of a toolbox to show you that when you study in a business school, it's like if you discover different disciplines of management, and in those topics will enable you to be effective in a company. So you'll be learning, of course, topics such as those that you can see here, but also what we call soft skills like leadership, creativity, how to handle a group work, etc. I'll go to the next slide. Also, to choose MBS is to choose a school with an internationally recognized academic excellence. So we have what we call the Triple Crown. Triple Crown is accreditations. We have 3 of them, and we are part of the 1% best business schools in the world among 14,000 business schools in the world. So we have ACSB, MBA, and EQUIS. This means that we have the Triple Crown. And what is the Triple Crown? It's in terms of academic, it means that we are part of the best business schools in the world. We have some organizations called ICSB, MBA, and EQUIS that come to evaluate our system, to evaluate our professors, students, content, etc., and then give us those accreditation after a strong, very dense evaluation and audit of what we do here. And we are very proud of being now part of the Triple Crown crew, if I can say that. So when choosing a school, you make sure also that it's highly ranked, and you see that we have nice ranking at an international scale, but also at the national scale, we are part of the best business school, top 15 out of 200 max. Next slide. When you choose MBS, you also choose to build a career that looks like you. So you'll see that in the school, we prepare you to the professional world. We also have relationship with companies. We have relevant academic projects, and we have a network of alumni. So during those courses, you will not just be listening to the professor. You'll be actor of your education, meaning that professor, of course, they'll be there to help you, but you will have workshops, interview simulation, one-to-one meetings to help you develop all your potential that you have. You'll be working in groups. You'll see that you'll be meeting several people from different places in the world. Also, we have strong relationship with companies, with conferences, internship, a board of corporate directors involved in the school strategy. So actually, we have very close relationship with the professional world, which is also one of our strengths at the school. During the courses, you will also have group projects, academic projects that where you'll be building several competences as well. And network of alumni, 17,000. approximately, and this year we will have maybe 1,000 more. Next slide. When you choose MBS, you also choose an international and diverse environment, meaning that being from Indonesia, or maybe you're from another country, but you live there, this happens as well. We'll see that we have students from different places in the world, which is very rich for us. And we love diversity. Even in our team, we have people from different places in the world. We have a very international atmosphere. We are a school that is, I can say, human size, medium size, if I can say that, approximately 3,000 students, and 1/3 is international. So we have students from different places in the world. This year we had some Indonesian students, but we have students from 17 countries approximately. So we have students from several continents as well. Also, we have a strong diversity and possibility to do exchange program and double degrees. Also, choosing MBS is to choose a school that guides you and help you from A to Z. So I'll be your main contact, being your representative. I'll be your dedicated contact, and you'll see the WhatsApp number at the end of this presentation. You'll see that my job here is to help you define your professional project. So feel free to WhatsApp me, to email me for any questions you have. Don't be shy to bother me. I won't be bothered, because this is my job to help you fulfill your project, to realize your project and make sure that this happens when you want it to happen. So defining your professional project, guiding you in the program you're looking for. Maybe the program you're looking for is actually not a business one, and I'll be guiding you to another school, or maybe we don't have it in the school, and I'll be happy to guide you somewhere else. So if you're looking for a school in a certain city, as we are in Montpellier, we have, well, some other schools that exist everywhere else. I can also help you with that. Also, I'll be helping you to apply, coaching for the test and the interview, then supporting you for the visa obtention. This will be someone else from another team. And then we have an orientation seminar with 28 hours of French and several topics about how to settle well in France when you arrive. The next slide is where you can see that you can choose the possibility to study in English while living in the south of France. So why? You have several possibilities. Of course, you're considering the US, the UK, Canada, some other countries, I don't know where, and it's a good option. Here, you can see that you have the possibility to live in France, in the south actually, and to study in English. So you have three types of programs. We have the bachelor program, which is an undergraduate after high school. Then you have the master in management, which is a 2-year program, English or French. And then you have the master of science, which can be joined after a bachelor of 4 years in several options: marketing, finance, business excellence, international business, and digital transformation. Here you can see the difference. We have undergraduate program in blue, the bachelor degree, and then we have the master's program, the postgraduate, in purple-ish, master in management and master of science. The difference between the two is that the master in management is in 2 years, and it's general the first year and specialized the next year. And the master of science is directly a specialization, that you dive in. Next slide. So the bachelor program, we have several tracks. We have one in French, one in English, one that is called Global, and I'm not showing it here, I will be explaining, and one that is called Top 2+2. Here I'll be showing only the bachelor program in English that we have, but we have 3 other tracks that enable you as well to have double degree program, possibility to go as an exchange student 2 years out of 4, sorry. So here you can see it's the 3-year program, 1 year and a half at Montpellier Business School, and the rest of the year and a half, you can do either an internship, entrepreneurial project, semester abroad. You have the possibility to stay either on campus, but also mix it with semesters abroad options, or do an internship. What is interesting here is that when you go abroad as an exchange student from Montpellier Business School, from MBS, you don't pay the tuition fees of the other country, you pay the tuition fees of France. For instance, when I was a student of the master program in MBS, I went to the US, and tuition fees, we know that in the US they can be 4, 5, 6 times higher than tuition fees in France, for instance. And my parents, they paid the tuition fees of France compared to and I was able to go as an exchange student in the US, which was quite a very nice experience that I really enjoyed. So the bachelor program, 3-year program, 1 year and a half on campus, 1 year and a half either on campus or doing an internship, depending on what you're looking for. We recommend the students to have at least a 6-month internship experience during his studies anyway. And tuition fees for this program, 11,000 euros a year. Then the Grande École program, the MIM, we have a 2-year program, and I'm an alumni of this program. So 2-year program, First year is general with a 4 to 6 month internship, and then second year is specialization with one of our MSc or possibility to go abroad as an exchange student with a 6 month internship. So here, the idea is to first learn all the basics of management to get introduced to them, and then the second year to specialize. It's ideal for students who don't know what they want, but they still want to explore their options and to make sure that they're going to find a job that they might like after. So the Grande École, the Master in Management, the MIM, we call it like this, is a good option. Tuition fees are 13,000 euros a year. Next slide, we have the Master of Science, which is a 14 to 16-month program, very specialized. So it starts in September, like all the programs we have. From September to June, you'll be in class. First semester, you'll be studying the courses related to the field of study you chose. And then second year, you'll be choosing a specialization. Here you can see the courses we have. We have the one in finance, marketing, digital transformation, business excellence, and international business. And for the entire program, tuition fees are 13,900. What's interesting in this program is that you're going to have a lot of group projects, like in other program actually, where you will be interacting with other people. The idea is to prepare you for the professional world. You will have consulting projects, entrepreneurial projects, finance projects, like portfolio management. And students really enjoy this because it's quite interactive. It's not like you're just listening to a professor and you just write what you have on the paper. You will be actually very active during those courses, which is why students like it so much. The next slide, you'll see all the disciplines that we have in the Masters of Science. We have the one in finance, like I said, marketing, digital transformation, business excellence, and international business. Inside each program, you'll see that we have a specialization that enables you to give a little bit of specialization below the specialization, if I can say that, that enables you to direct your project, actually. So for students who are interested in finance, you will have to choose between advanced, energy, responsible, etc. Digital transformation, also you see that we have one in digital management. It's how to use the digital tool to improve a company. And the one in artificial intelligence and big data is how you can handle a project related to those data. You're not going to be programming here. Make sure that you understand that. This is not an engineering school. This is a business school. So we are going to teach you also how to manage a project that includes digital transformation as well. So for instance, if we have backgrounds with engineer students, it's quite a nice choice to go for the MSc in digital transformation or the business excellence as well. That is a very great combination. International business is quite general, you can see below. Next slide, and my last point is why choosing MBS is to opt for an entire online selection process with the possibility of free tests, which is really nice option that we offer to students. So you can see here that the process is entirely online. We'll be helping you from A to Z. For the bachelor and the MIM, you have first the application documents to submit on the platform, and I'll be sending you the link for those who have questions about that when you email or WhatsApp me. So first of all, the application documents, a transcript of the 3 last years, resume in English, except if you apply for French, this will be in French, but otherwise in English, please. Then we will need also the passport copy, the photo to make sure that we have everything. If you have a higher degree already, we take it. Otherwise, we will take your certificate saying that you are enrolled in your last year, for instance, of bachelor or of a high school. Then you have two possibilities. You can take our English test online and our reasoning test online for free, or you already have the GMAT, GRE, or IELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL. Like you can see here, we offer free options for students who don't have the GMAT or GRE, or who don't have the IELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL. Those are mandatory, but if you have, for instance, the GMAT, you can just take our test. And if you don't have the IELTS, you can take our test as well. This is not mandatory for us. And then the last step will be the interview video recording online. So you'll be receiving a link. You'll be doing it with your phone or with your laptop, and you'll be answering questions. You will have like a video to answer. So you won't have a real jury in front of you, but don't worry, we are behind that because we'll be evaluating after all the videos with professors and the staff from MBS. So this is the process for Bachelor and Master in Management, and application fees are 90 euros. And for the Master of Science, the next slide, you can see that the process is quite similar. We have application documents with the same as mentioned before. Then we have the English test online, which is free. So if you don't have TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC, you can take this test. And then the interview, same as before, except that it's, well, 20 to 25 minutes anyway, pre-recorded. I'm done with the presentation. So if you have any question, you have here my WhatsApp number. Make sure that you save this number for any questions you have. My name is Judith, and you can have my email here, which is quite long. So I suggest that you write my WhatsApp number instead of my email. Thank you for your attention.
Merci beaucoup pour votre présentation. Nous sommes vraiment désolés pour le problème technique.
Pas de problème.
Now we'll begin the Q&A session. I will read the question from the YouTube comment section. Okay. The first question, for Indonesian high school student, is it okay to apply with their national high school diploma for bachelor degree?
Sure. Yeah, sure. We ask for, hi, first, bonjour. So for students applying for the bachelor degree, we require what we call the baccalaureate, which is for France, but we require the equivalent. If you in your country, for instance, here, Indonesia, you have the equivalent of the baccalaureate for us, meaning the certificate of high school, we will be taking this degree. If you don't have it yet because you are in your last year and you don't have the results, you can still apply, but then we will be sending you, we'll ask you to send us the final results once you have them. So your admission can go on. This is not a problem. However, your admission will be under the condition that you get your final degree. So yes, we accept your degree. If you're also in a school like British school or American school in your country, we also take the final test that they have. And if in your school there's no final test, because it happens sometimes in some schools, we'll look at the transcripts of the 3 last years of studies.
All right, thank you for your answer. And next question, it goes, for student with international curriculum A level or IB, is it possible to apply with the prediction score?
Yes, I heard that question before. If you have it, we will look at them. However, we don't require the prediction score because this is a prediction. So we'll be looking at past grades that you got already. And then if you want to send us the prediction score, we will look at it. But what matters is the real ones that you're going to get anyway. But yes, it's possible to apply with it. You can send them to me on WhatsApp, and I'll be happy to review them anyway to make sure that it's all clear for you and for us.
All right, thank you for your answer. The next question, it goes, hi Judith, does Montpellier Business School offer another scholarship other than the 200 euros fee deduction that we could apply?
So the scholarship that we have, it's 2,000, not 200, just to clarify. So we have up to 2,000, yeah, 2,000 euros deducted from tuition fees granted depending on your admissions results. So we'll be looking at your grades, at the results of the test. We'll be doing an average, and this will determine if yes or no you are eligible for this scholarship. So this is what we offer. And other than that, we don't have any other scholarship that we have. This is the particular scholarship that we have for international students. And then, like I said before, we have some advantages to be in France. It's free social security that you should also count in your spending, if I can say like this. Like if you go buy medicines prescribed by the doctor, you'll see that it's a free free prescription actually, because they reimburse it with the healthcare system. Also, we have what we call the CAF, which is the housing allowance, deducted from each month of rent. For instance, if your rent is 500, you can get between 80 to 150 euros, depending on the type of housing you have, from your rent. So those are not scholarship from the school, but those are financial advantages that you should take into account when budgeting your year, because this is also one of the advantages of being in France. Not just MBS, all the schools in France, if you are enrolled in a French school, you will benefit from free social security and housing allowance as well.
All right, thank you for the answer. The next question, it goes, does the master thesis will be done together along with the internship?
Yes, I didn't mention that, and it's a good question. The master thesis, as being master students, it will be done during the program. So you'll be starting early. Well, it's right now for students enrolled this year, and you will have approximately 1 year to complete it. So you will see that students are not like free to do whatever they want and do everything last minute. In the school, we know that our students need to be helped and counseled. Sorry. So each 2 months, approximately, that we have to send to their professor that is evaluating the thesis an intermediary work, so that you're not last minute and doing everything at the last minute. So you'll be very counseled.
All right, thank you for the answer. For the master admission, do the student need to provide a recommendation letter from the workplace and the previous university?
So here at MBS, we don't require a recommendation letter. We know you like to send them to us, so send them to us. But this is not going to influence our evaluation anyway. This is not something that the admission committee look at. But if you want to send it to me, good for you. But we don't need it.
All right, thank you for the answer. The next question, it goes, what is the minimum of GPA for master program?
Okay, so this it depends. It's true that we have that question. I cannot say we have a minimum because it's not just your grades that we look at. We will be looking at also at the results of the test that you'll be taking with us or with the GMAT or the TOEFL or wherever. But other than that, it's not just the grade that we'll be looking at. So for us, what matters and is that you passed each year and that you validated your degree. The higher it is, the better for you because we have a grid of equivalence. So if you have like 4 out of 4, you get the highest score. If you get like very average, you get the average score for us. But then, for instance, someone who has a very good grade of very high GPA but doesn't perform so well to the interview, which is for us the most important part, you won't get as much as someone who did maybe an average GPA and performed really well to the interview. So, of course, we look at GPAs, but this is not the only thing that we look at. And it's good that we don't just look at grades, otherwise it would not be that interesting to recruit students. But we also trust that the students they'll be studying for the test and we'll be helping for that, for the reasoning test, the English test, and the final interview. That is one of the most important parts of the process. So we don't have a minimum except that you have to pass each year. So that will be the average. And then we'll be looking at all the results of the test. So the higher, the better. But if you don't have the higher, it's still okay if you pass each year.
Okay, thank you for the answer. The next question, can you share the information about international student life in Montpellier?
Sure.
Especially,
I
sorry.
don't have my I don't have access to my laptop here because we had some technical problems. But I will be happy if you WhatsApp me on this number, so you can see here +33 647487835 or my email. I'll be happy to send you some videos or some materials so that you can see how it is for an international students to be in Montpellier. But to explain a little bit, like I said, Montpellier is the name of the city. It's in the south of France. Montpellier is one of the best cities in France. Not me who says this, but rankings and international students actually, and students in general. The life, except when we are locked down like today, is really exciting in Montpellier. It's very lively. We have students from different places, not just at the school, but also in the city of Montpellier, which is very international, very young city. 1 person out of 4 is less than 30 years old, and we have a lot of students from different places anyway. So 1 out of 7 students is from somewhere out of France. And you have bars, clubs, very nice places. We have the beach. We are not too far from Spain, Barcelona, and from Paris, which makes it a very nice location to study. And well, I studied at Montpellier, so I'm happy I did. But when I see international students, I'm like, they're so lucky to experience this as an international student. I think it's a different vibe than when you are from France as well.
Thank you very much for your answer. The next question, it goes, how much is the living cost in Montpellier?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's true that I didn't mention. I said that it's 40% cheaper than Paris, but I didn't mention. So thank you for that. So that will be approximately, I would say, 700 euros if you want to live normal students. Inside those 700 euros, you have to know that approximately for the housing, 500 for a studio. If you get a room, it's cheaper. If you get like a double room and whatever, but just for yourself, of course, it's more expensive. But if you live like a normal student, 500 for the studio. And like I said, we have the financial allowance on the housing, less than that is between 80 and 150 euros. So if your housing rent is 500, because you're a student, you'll get up to 150 euros deducted from the 500, meaning 350 euros instead of 500. And there's no eligibility criteria except for being a student, wherever you're from. So first this, and also you see that in France we have special tariffs for students, like to go to the movies or to go for transportation, public transportation, because we don't really take cabs here because it's very expensive. So we mainly take public transportation, which is really good in Montpellier anyway. So 500 euros, but you deduct approximately the financial housing help of 150 euros, depending on what you have, and then approximately 200 euros for the I would say the phone, the gas, all of it. So yeah, 700 euros for
Right.
Montpellier. If you choose a city like Paris, you can add, well, like I said, it's 40% cheaper than Paris. So that will be for Paris approximately 1,200 euros if you want to live decently.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answer. The next question, it goes, how does the process of AFOL scholarship application in MBS in Montpellier Business School?
The process of what? Of EFL. Okay, sorry. Well, we are in it right now. We have a lot of students asking for EFL scholarship, and I understand the deadline is coming soon. So, of course, each year, it's been now 3 years I've been here, and each year we had the luck to have some talented students who got the scholarship, the EFL. How it works is that first the students apply with us, with MBS, either with me for being in Asia or with one of my colleagues for being in another country, because each one of us has a specific area. So you can contact me and I will put you in contact. But here you're from Indonesia, so I'm your contact. So first you apply to MBS after you got all the information you need. Then if you get admission, but as it's an excellent scholarship, I hope you get admission. Then if you say that you are interested in the FL scholarship, I'll be sending you info to international admissions, who is in charge of selecting students to be sent to FL scholarship. For instance, if you got a very average GPA and very average admission result at MBS, you can be admitted, but honestly, you won't be considered for FL scholarship because FL scholarship is an excellent scholarship. So what means excellence? It means honestly a very high GPA, very high results. Usually it's students who have how can I say that in a percentage, maybe more than 80% at least. But it's not just your grades, it will be all the results to a test. So if you don't have 80 out of 100 right now, but you think you can do really well, you can be considered for the FL, and then we send the list to the FL committee. So not all the students who wish to apply to FL will be considered, but if you perform really well to admission results, yes, you can be considered. You'll know anyway, we'll let you know.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer. The next question, it goes, is there any possibility to do the part-time job during the study?
Okay, yes, it's a good question as well. Yes, we have the possibility to do a part-time job legally, up to 20 hours a week. You are allowed to work in France, for instance, cashier or whatever, what we call student job, if I can say that. Otherwise, if you don't speak a word of French, it's honestly not really easy. I mean, Montpellier is a very student city, but it's in France. So imagine if I go to a country where language is, I don't know, Spanish, but I don't speak a word of Spanish, it can be a little bit complicated. So legally, you can work and study at the same time. You need to speak French, I would recommend. Same, I mean, yeah, for the first year, you will need to speak French. So yes, of course you can, but you'll need to work on your own. And then you'll see that when you are a student at MBS, it's not just like you have 9 hours of class a week. It's gonna be 25 hours a week, approximately, of class at the school. And then you will have personal work, group work, associations, maybe student life. I mean, maybe you won't even have time to work as a part-time, but it's still possible legally. So to answer your question, yes, you can.
Okay, thank you for the answer. The next question, for the international student taking the international program, do students need to speak French?
So no, you don't need an. It's a nice question as well. It's true that students, when they consider France, they might think that French is mandatory, and it's not, except if you take a French degree. But here, this doesn't seem like it's your option. So no, you can come here to France and not speak a word of French. We offer French courses to our students when they arrive. They have up to 25 hours of French courses. And then during the entire year, they have French courses, mandatory or not, but usually students, they come here as well to enjoy and take advantage of the French courses. So it's important that you also take advantage of this. The idea is not you may not become fluent in one day, of course, because this is a different language from yours, but still it's a nice option that you have to learn a new language while studying in a language where you're comfortable with, which is English. So you can study in France, but speak English and study in English as well. Also, you'll see that at first you might not be comfortable because you don't understand everything. At the school, we all speak English, but when you go to the bakery to buy bread or French cafe, or I don't know, French food, you'll see that you'll be learning some words like the vegetables and all. But it's part of I think it's part of the game and of the challenge that you wanted for yourself. Otherwise, you would have stayed home.
All right, thank you very much. The next question is, do you have a PhD program in your school?
We have a DBA program. So for that, you can email us at dba@montpellier-bs.com, and I'll be putting you in contact with the representative. Or you can write me a WhatsApp text, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
All right, merci beaucoup. Next question is about, after graduation, is there any possibilities to find a job in Montpellier or in France?
Okay, thanks for the question. So when you come to Montpellier or as a student in France in general, you will have what we call the student visa. Then for our school being recognized at an international scale and in France, you can stay up to 1 year to look for a job, either in France or somewhere else. You'll see that Montpellier is a really nice city to study, but Montpellier doesn't have many well, we do have companies in the high-tech system like Dell or IBM, but it's not like the biggest hub for work. Usually our students, they might stay in Montpellier because they love it. But the thing is that most of the companies for managing position are usually in Paris. So students, we have to move to Paris and its region to look for a job. This is where usually they find half of the students who stay in France, they will find in Paris, and region, and the rest we find everywhere else in France. And most of the students, they will go back home, or they will go maybe to another country of Europe as well, like Ireland or Spain or Germany or Luxembourg, Brussels, depending also on the field that they're working in. So yes, students find in France, but it's not all of them who wish to stay in France or who succeed to find in France. Some tips to find in France is also to learn some French. Even if you're not going to be fluent, it's nice to see that you made this effort.
Très bien, merci beaucoup. Next question, what kind of support the campus provide for international students?
So is it in terms of housing, in terms of academic, or in terms of everything?
Housing, administrative, after arriving.
Okay. Thanks for the question. So I'll be your main contact. I'll be the person supporting you until you get admission. You'll see that you will save my WhatsApp number the entire year, because if you have a question and you don't know who to address it, I'll be your main contact and addressing it to someone else anyway. So save my number. Then you'll see that you've been in contact with the team of that they call like your auntie and uncle of MBS. They are in charge of helping you with all related to the daily life, like if you're looking for a doctor, for a pharmacy, for where to buy grocery that is not too expensive, all the things that you need in terms of daily life, you'll be in contact with them. Those will be also in charge of helping you with visa procedure and all. So the team will be in charge of helping you with that. And then we have another team which is more related to the academic, because you come here for academic purpose. So who will be able to help you. So to sum up, I'll be your main contact until admission. Then once you are admitted, and I hope you will, you'll be in contact with the team in charge of helping you for visa, finding accommodation in Montpellier, all the daily life and all. They'll be your advisors and your aunt and uncle, like I said. And the other team will be more for the academic side, like if you pass your exams, if you didn't succeed your exams because you had never studied, things like this related to courses and all. So you see that you're never alone in a business school, which is also the strength compare, if I may do the comparison, because I used to study in a French university. In the public system, you won't find that type of people helping you that much because they don't have the same staff and budget, of course, to make sure that all our students are cocooned and all. Here you can see that in business schools, in private business schools, students are very well taken care of. Maybe too much sometimes. But
All right, thank you. The next question, and it would be the last question of the
okay.
and it goes to take undergraduate program. Has high school graduate shall take foundation program, or they can directly apply? Thank you.
Okay, this depends where you are schooled. I don't know all the schools in your country, but it depends. If you did like 12 years of high school, you won't need a foundation year. Usually, your students who come for the first year of bachelor, they don't come with the foundation year, except if they just did like 10 years of high school. It depends on how many years you did in high school, and I'll be happy to check your transcript of high school to make sure that you would not be eligible for a foundation year.
All
This
right.
depends where you're school.
All right. I guess that's the end of our Q&A session. Just a reminder that you can connect with the representative through the information given earlier. Merci beaucoup, Judy,
Merci.
for the presentation. Nous sommes vraiment désolés pour le problème technique.
No worries.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.
Merci, au revoir, goodbye, take care all. Bye.
Thank you. And for all the audience, thank you for watching. And for your information, we organize virtual fair today and tomorrow, where you can connect directly with the university. Kindly visit our website event.ehf.id and go to the exhibitor hall. Thank you, and don't forget to see our institution webinar series tomorrow. Have a good evening, everyone.